back to my sewing studio. One of my goals in sewing is to make clothes that are accessible for all people. I ran into this kind of situation in one of my last commissions. Some friends and I really got into the video game Among Us. Like, we would play every night. It was a great way to spend time together while everyone was in lockdown. A couple of my friends wanted to buy some shirts that looked like the spacesuits that you wear in the game, with like the face shield in the bright colors that we wear in the game. However, she couldn't find any in athletic wear material with the low neckline that she needs because of her nerve issues. We found a quarter zip athleisure jacket for her and a hoodie for her husband, and ordered them to be shipped directly to me so that I could add the decals. It's funny that with all of her special requirements that we were looking for her jacket, it was actually his hoodie that ended up being harder to find because we needed a very specific color of brown. Of course, as Lord Poop, no other color would do. It had to be the right shade of brown. So we ordered the brick red hoodie from Carhartt, which happens to be his least favorite brand. And then I ordered some brown dye to get the right shade that I want and make sure that it was perfect. I used some cotton sateen for the decal since it wouldn't be directly against her skin, and I already had some on hand. The first thing I did was cut them into oval shapes that the face shield is in. I cut the oval for the quarter zip in half and added some more seam allowance so that I could insert it around the quarter zip and it still look like one solid oval. And then I painted the details of the shading and the highlight on the shields using acrylic paint mixed with a fabric medium. I then sewed black bias tape onto the edge of the decal because both of their shirts were knit material and the cotton is a weave. So in order to gap that bridge, the bias would allow for some stretch and give. I used this RIT dye for dyeing the hoodie. Following the instructions, I heated water over the stove before adding the dye and then the wet hoodie to it. I had to mix the hoodie around the mixture constantly because I didn't have a very large pot. This is the largest pot that I had on hand, and the hoodie took up most of the space, especially once wet. So I had to move it around a lot, keep the fabric going so that I wouldn't end up with some darker spots than others. Once it was all dry, I was able to sew the decal on with a zigzag stitch so that it would allow more ease with the bias tape. I pulled on the knits very slightly for that extra ease so that the decal would lay flat when the hoodie was stretched over their chest. for the quarter zip, I had to attach the two different pieces using a straight stitch across the zipper and then folding the fabric over the seam before stitching to the rest of the garment, using the same zigzag stitch I did for the hoodie. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I customized some geeky shirts for my friends. It was a very special commission for me to work on, and actually in the meantime I have moved in with them, so the sewing space that I'm in is slightly different, but I was able to move all of my stuff over in pretty much the same setup, just slightly different surroundings. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we should be finishing my corset.
Hey, Scooby, look, he's doing it again.
Oh, at the table?
Yeah, come back.
Oh!
I'm never running around the table again.